Have you ever felt your heart skip a beat and wondered, is this just aging or is something wrong? I'm Dr. Thomas Whitaker, a retired geriatrician who spent over 30 years helping men like you live fuller, healthier lives. Today, I want to share a story that might hit close to home, one that shows how the smallest signs can change everything if you listen. Meet Frank, a 64-year-old retired firefighter from Colorado. Frank was a hero in his day, carrying people to safety, always the first to volunteer. Even in retirement, he'd spend weekends fishing with his son, Mark, or fixing things around the house. But last spring, Frank started slowing down. He'd get winded carrying groceries. His legs felt heavy and his old fishing rod stayed in the garage. "I'm just getting old," he'd tell Mark, brushing it off with a laugh. But at night, alone on his porch, Frank felt a pang of regret. "Why am I letting go of the life I love?" he thought. "If only I'd noticed sooner." One morning, Frank woke up gasping, his chest tight. He sat on the edge of his bed, wondering if he'd waited too long. That moment of fear is what I want to help you avoid. Frank's story is one I've seen countless times in my decades of comprehensive senior care. Declining health isn't just part of getting older. It's often preventable. Your body sends whispers before it shouts, and ignoring them can steal years from the life you deserve. Maybe you're feeling that flicker of doubt now, wondering if you've let your health slip. That's okay. You're here, and that means you're ready to listen. Let's walk through this together, with hope, not fear, because your heart has a story worth hearing. Let's talk about those whispers your body sends, the ones Frank ignored until they became shouts. Heart failure isn't a sudden crash. It's a slow drift, and catching it early can save your life. Picture your heart as a pump that's been running for decades. High blood pressure, diabetes, or an old heart attack can weaken it over time. When it can't pump blood effectively, your body struggles to get the oxygen and nutrients it needs. That's heart failure, and it's more common after 55 than you might think. But here's the good news. Your body gives you clues. Let's go through 6 subtle signs you might be overlooking. First, constant fatigue. Not just feeling tired after a long day, but a deep exhaustion that makes getting up feel like climbing a mountain. Your heart's working overtime and it's draining you. Second, shortness of breath. Maybe you're winded after a short walk or even bending down. That's not just getting out of shape. It could be fluid in your lungs because your heart can't clear it. Third, swollen ankles or feet. If your socks leave marks or your shoes feel tight, fluid is pooling because your heart isn't moving blood well. Fourth, waking up gasping at night. It's scary, and you might think it's a nightmare, but it's often fluid backing up when you lie flat. Fifth, loss of appetite. If meals you love don't tempt you anymore, or you feel full quickly, your digestive system might not be getting enough blood. Sixth, a racing or irregular heartbeat. Your heart might feel like it's fluttering or pounding, even at rest, as it struggles to keep rhythm. How do you know if these are serious? Look for patterns. If you're always tired, not just after a big day, or if stairs you used to climb easily now leave you breathless, take note. Jot it down, tell your doctor. I had a patient, Tom, who ignored his swollen feet for a year, thinking it was just aging. When he finally got checked, his heart failure was advanced, and he wished he'd acted sooner. Those whispers are your body begging you to listen. If you don't use your health, you lose it. But every day you pay attention is a day you give yourself back. Let's keep going, because you're worth it. Have you ever sat alone, staring at nothing, because you just didn't have the spark to get up? Heart failure doesn't just tire your body, it can dim your spirit. In my years of comprehensive senior care, I've seen how it erodes a man's sense of self, not just through physical limits, but through the emotional weight it carries. Let's talk about 4 ways this condition can hit your heart in a deeper sense. Isolation, loss of purpose, anxiety, and strained family ties. If any of these feel familiar, you're not alone. Isolation creeps in when you're too exhausted to keep up. Take George, a 66-year-old retired carpenter. He used to meet his buddies every Friday for coffee, swapping stories over donuts. But as his heart failure worsened, he stopped going. "I didn't want to be the guy who can't keep up," he said. Each missed coffee date left him feeling more cut off, like he was fading from his own life. Have you ever skipped a gathering? Because you didn't want to explain why you're out of breath. Then there's loss of purpose. Heart failure can rob you of what makes you you. George loved building birdhouses for his grandkids, but fatigue stopped him cold. He'd sit in his workshop, tools untouched, thinking, what good am I now? That question stings. If you've ever felt your role, as a provider, a hobbyist, or just the family's rock slipping away, you know this pain. It's not just your heart, it's your identity. Anxiety is another thief. The unpredictability of heart failure can haunt you. George would wake up checking his pulse, terrified of another gasping episode. Is this the day it gets worse? He'd wonder. That fear can cage you, turning every twinge into a crisis. Have you ever caught yourself worrying about your health more than you want to admit? Finally, family relationships suffer. When you're not yourself, it ripples outward. George's daughter Sarah started doing more, cooking, cleaning, even yard work. He felt like a burden, and it built a wall between them. She shouldn't have to carry me, he'd say. That guilt can make you pull back from the people you love most. If you've ever felt like you're letting your family down, you know how heavy that is. These emotional scars are real, but they don't have to define you. Heart failure can make you feel like you're losing yourself, but seeing these feelings for what they are is the first step to fighting back. You're still here, still valuable, and still worth fighting for. Let's talk about how to take that next step. You might be thinking, okay, I see the signs, but what now? The good news is you don't have to accept heart failure as your fate. This isn't about staying young forever. It's about living well right now with the years you have. In my decades of comprehensive senior care, I've seen men turn their health around by taking small, steady steps. Let's talk about practical ways to protect your heart and reclaim your life. First, see your doctor. If you're noticing fatigue, swelling, or breathlessness, don't wait. A simple blood test or echocardiogram can check your heart's function. Early action can stop heart failure in its tracks. For example, my patient Henry, 68, caught his symptoms early. With medication and lifestyle changes, he's back to gardening with his wife. Tell your doctor everything. Don't downplay it. You're not bothering them, you're fighting for yourself. Second, move your body. You don't need to run marathons, just start small. A 15-minute walk daily can strengthen your heart. If walking's tough, try chair exercises or gentle stretching. The key is consistency. Your heart is a muscle. Use it or lose it. Third, eat smarter. Cut back on salt to reduce fluid buildup. Think fresh veggies, lean meats, and whole grains. If appetite's low, eat smaller, frequent meals. A dietitian can help tailor this to you. Fourth, manage stress. Anxiety can strain your heart, so find what calms you. Deep breathing, listening to music, or even talking to a friend. Fifth, stay connected. Isolation feeds despair, so call a buddy, join a community group, or spend time with family. Your heart thrives when you're engaged. Finally, quit smoking and limit alcohol. Both weaken your heart over time. If quitting's hard, ask your doctor for support. There are tools to make it easier. These steps aren't about perfection, they're about progress. Every morning you wake up is a chance to start again. I've seen men like George, who we talked about earlier, rebuild their lives. After starting treatment and walking daily, George went back to his coffee group and even built a birdhouse for his granddaughter. He told me, "I feel like me again." That's what I want for you. As long as you're breathing, you can shape your life. Don't let your heart define you, define it. Let's finish strong with how to make this real for you. Here we are at the end of our talk, but really, it's just the beginning for you. Your heart might be struggling, but you're still here, still strong, still valuable, still deserving of a life that lights you up. Heart failure isn't the end of your story. It's a chapter, and you get to write the next one. I've spent my career watching men like Frank and George rediscover their spark, not by chasing youth, but by embracing the man they are today. That's what I want for you. Start small, but start now. Call your doctor this week. Take a walk around the block. Have that extra glass of water instead of a beer. These aren't just tasks, they're promises to yourself. You're not fighting to avoid death. You're fighting to live fully, to laugh with your grandkids, to share another sunrise with someone you love. Every step you take is a victory, and you're not alone in this. I've seen countless men in my years of comprehensive senior care turn their lives around, and I believe in you too. If anything in this video struck a chord, maybe you recognized yourself in Frank's story, or you felt that heaviness in your chest. Share it in the comments below. Tell us what's on your mind. If you're struggling, let us know. We're in this together, and there's strength in that. Maybe you've already taken a step, like cutting back on salt or calling your doctor. Share that too. Your story could inspire someone else. Before I go, let me leave you with this. You are not your condition. You're a man with dreams, with people who need you, with a life worth living. As long as your heart's beating, you've got a chance to make it sing. So what's one thing you'll do today to start? Drop it in the comments and let's keep this journey going. I'm rooting for you.